in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? Taking it about the 1. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Jaguars take over a first down 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Ready?
Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. He'll get this out to the... And right away, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. With touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Very short kick taken right at the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CV, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because, to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
They go play action now. Lawrence. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Lawrence will throw. And he coughed it Raiders pick it up. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. That's caught by Waller out left side. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Well, you've got a receiver here who's got one touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
On third down, here comes Jacobs. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Carr. Touchdown! Darren Waller. His second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Raiders are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result. Because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. They go play action with Lawrence. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards, the final tally.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And down inside the 15 he goes. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offense.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, when you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, They've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
To try again after the sack, Lawrence hit and the ball is free. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Play action. It's Lawrence. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Chandler Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season. Riley Patterson now on for the field goal. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. Patterson's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
On second down, Jacobs looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description, because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Throwing his car on third down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Tyson Campbell.
And the Jags will take over possession here up at the 44. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, "I'll take him, I'll fix him." The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, "He's yours from now on." Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 34.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel center, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that, because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Chandler Jones, that is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out, because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
pressure gets to him again. Max Crosby. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth.
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Carr now on first down. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Devon Hamilton forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He gets this to Devontae Adams. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. This is caught. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
First down, Las Vegas.
Again, they'll throw with Carr. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. third touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Carlson now to add the extra point. And it's 21-3.
He is good. Makes the score Raiders 21, Jaguars 3.
So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with Lawrence's arm, they may give him a shot to let this thing rip downfield. We'll see. A pretty big opening there on first down. 8 yards up to the 33. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it's complete to Adams. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw, it's Carr. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he's going to get this down near the 25. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Here's Carr to throw. And that is incomplete.
Pretty secure lead, but what's the harm in adding another touchdown, right? At least that's what they were thinking on that snap. But if he wants to add more points, got to bring the throw down just a little bit and keep it in the end zone.
The kick by Carlson is good, and the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's 24-3. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get Keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They'll start on the ground, ETN, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain there of 21 yards.
You know, we talk all the time about playing situational football. And right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
80 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't pick the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On play action, Lawrence. This one complete to Christian Kirk. He'll get it inside the 20. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 16. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Chandler Jones getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
On 2nd and 9, Carr. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Counter play with Jacobs. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to.
Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked up by Foyesade Aluakin. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence to throw. And that is caught. It's Ridley. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, and who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play. Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
One more time with ETN. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired, while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Going for it, here's ETN. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jags are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 22-yard line. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 49 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So Carr will depart, and on comes the Raider kicker Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. The kick by Carlson is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game. Lawrence hit and the ball is free. And the Raiders pick it up. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
What now?
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And this not always an easy proposition, Charles. You had a West Coast team that traveled east, but they got the job done.
And there's so much that goes into it because your body time and your body clock different from what you're used to west, because if you go east, you're going to lose up to 3 hours, right? So is your body going to be awake when it's time to play? A lot of teams actually rehearse it. They practice it. Maybe the week of the game, they move everything up to that time frame so guys get used to doing it that way. I remember when I played at Tennessee, when we had to go from east to west, our trainer Tim Karen said, leave your watches on East Coast time. Every piece of information we got was East Coast Standard Time. Try to psychologically tell us what to do, as well as prepare our bodies the same way.
So for Las Vegas, they're back to 500 as they move to 4-4 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for JAX.